It is 3:12 a.m. here in Korea. I have a flight in a couple hours, so I'm just staying up all night. I'm gonna try to sleep on the airplane. I'm going to be going to DreamHack Atlanta, and on the 17th, I'll be casting the first ever Stormgate show match. It's going to include Mana versus TLO, and the winner of that will go up to face off against Moon, the Warcraft 3 legend. So really exciting stuff. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit more of an exploratory cast since we've never casted any kind of match like this. When I retweeted the announcement about the show match, Frost Giant tweeted a set of images with the maps they're going to be using for the map lineup. So, again, I apologize for my appearance right now. I look like a stick of broccoli here. I've showered and I'm just going to be hopping on an airplane a little bit. So these are the four maps we've got. We've got Broken Crown Hinterlands, Secluded Grove, Jag and Ma, and Titan's Causeway. So I'm going to try to zoom in on these and show them to you guys. But if you want to find this image and zoom in on it yourself, you can find it, tweet it at me from the Frost Giant official account. Just maps with 2 spawns, so no 4-player maps, no 3-player maps. Broken Crown Hinterlands, Secluded Grove, Jag and Ma, and Titan's Causeway. And it looks like 3 of the 4 maps are in kind of a woodland setting, with Jag and Ma being a bit of a desert map here. So I've had a decent amount of experience here on Broken Crown Hinterlands and Titan's Causeway. So let's take a closer look at each of these maps. So Broken Crown Hinterlands map features defendable natural expansion, central resource camps. So creeping, looking like it's going to be in the middle of the map a little bit more, with the possibility of interfering with your opponent's creeping. A map that is structured to allow players to expand. So we'll see. And again, we might see strategies come out that we haven't really thought of. I know there's a lot of theory crafting with the units, but it's going to be a fun, interesting cast to see what happens here. But potential expand builds or fast expand builds possible here. Secluded Grove, rich resources in the central forest. So obviously, kind of like having your gold bases in the middle of the map, although these are not gold in the sense that I think you get extra resources, but additional resources there. We've seen this as an idea in maps for a long time. Going all the way back to Brood War, if both players are carving out sides of the maps, then it becomes an even exchange, then it'll be a fight here for the middle. It also says destructible trees open up the paths, distant creep camps. So creeps, more exterior here. So maybe a little bit of risk if you're going to try to come out on the map and creep where there could be a possible counterattack. And important to note, destructible trees. So if you can see the little dotted areas here, these are trees. Now, if you've watched, I think, anything involving the trailers with Stormgate, you'd know that the trees can be destroyed by certain units. For instance, the Vulcan plowing through it with a charge. There are trees on, Broken Crown Hinterlands here, but this is a more tree-oriented map, so you can definitely kind of change the shape of things. And we'll see, how much of a role that plays coming up here. Jag and Ma, I'm really excited that they put a map in here like this. So I'm glad we see a different tile set. That's going to be cool to see how the units and the abilities look on that. Long ground distance. So you're both spawning on the right side, one at the top right, the other at the bottom right. And it looks like you have almost this horseshoe shape you'd have to move through. But the middle does have destructible debris. Now, I don't know if that functions the same as trees. By the time I am able to cast it at the event, I will know that for sure. But I would imagine it probably is. But that means that there are certain strategies that could allow you to carve this open. And it says siege camps, which is going to be an interesting mechanic to see how exactly that plays out. On maps like this, we can have games where it's almost all about drops. As you try to, expand out here. It looks like there's resource locations littered on the edges, but also some that are basically shared here on the center right. Either way, these are fun maps to have. It'll be fun to see. Yeah, I see in the chat, by the way, almost like Scrap Station. Yeah, my thoughts exactly. So this is going to be a cool one. I think with a map in this shape, we could see some pretty unique stuff coming out here. And then the final map is going to be Titan's Causeway. Titan's Causeway. I almost called it Causeway Bay from a previous StarCraft map. Small map, many paths to each side. As you can see that, it's got a real network of different angles and areas you can come through here to play it out. Small maps, I think, are a very welcome thing. You know, this is always, when we get maps of various sizes, we get to find out pretty quickly how big maps should be. If you see in some of my other content here on YouTube, you'd know that, you know, we were looking at Warcraft 2 and their competitive scene, and it's crazy how big the maps are. I almost wonder if they're too big. StarCraft 1 and 2 have gone through many periods of different sized maps. For a little bit, it did seem like the maps in StarCraft 2 were too big. And, you know, we've always been able to figure out pretty early on what map might be too small. But this is fun. We've got a big array of different maps that offer different play styles. I do hope down the road we get some 4-player maps. I know that pros, I think, want to eliminate some degree of randomness, but I do think especially for new players, it's a little bit nice being more tucked away on the map where the opponent has to do a little bit more work to find you. But with maps where there's all 4 of them have only 2 spawns, we could have a lot of proxies. So we could have some very cool rushes, some other interesting ideas at play. So I'm pretty pumped on this. I cannot wait to get down to Atlanta to cast this for you guys. Sorry if I sounded a little bit out of it as I was describing those maps. I am a little bit loopy here. I'm normally in bed by now, but I figure I'll just stay up and try to sleep through the flight and adjust for when I land at Atlanta. If you like this kind of content, please let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think about these maps. Like the video, turn the bell notification on. I'm going to be making a lot more content like this in the future. Go to tastelessthreads.com. That's my merch site. I'm not wearing my merch now. I got my eyeball shirt on today. You cannot get that at my site, but I've got other stuff that is cool. You can get there instead. And I'll see you at Atlanta. If you see me down there, say hi. I look forward to doing the first competitive Stormgate match. Love you. Have a good one. Bye-bye.